In the last frantic breaths of the transfer window, the football world was fed a simple, irresistible story. A rising Barcelona star drawing Premier League interest, figures bandied about on social feeds and in pundit tick sheets, and a big money move waiting to explode. The name at the centre of the storm was Fermin Lopez, a young midfielder whose moments on the Camp Nou stage have turned heads and sparked speculation about his next step. What the headlines skipped over, though, was how quickly that drama evaporated when you looked past the noise. Instead of a multi-million bargain hunt, the truth was that Chelsea's contact never climbed above an initial proposal of euros 40 million, a single message that never developed into a formal bid, and Barcelona, even with its financial knots, never seriously considered letting him go for that sum. The contrast between the juicy rumours, whispers of euros 58m, and the modest reality is what turned a trending story into a revealing case study about modern transfers. Numbers can swell in minutes, but real valuations are stubbornly stubborn. Behind that euros 40m figure is a stack of decisions and priorities that expose the different realities at the two clubs. From Chelsea's perspective, sending a message at that level made sense as a test of appetite. Can we probe? Can we see if the player is available? Can we start a conversation without overcommitting? Inside Stamford Bridge, the message reportedly landed with a shrug. People who follow the club closely framed it as exploratory, not wholehearted pursuit. The quote that leaked, essentially dismissive, too much money for that kid, captures a mindset. Chelsea aren't dumb, but they have a price map, and the player in question sat outside the highest tiers of that map. On Barcelona's end, the calculus was different. Even constrained by financial rules, the club views certain academy graduates and young prospects as assets for the team's future, not immediate cash machines. Deco, part of the sporting leadership, reportedly didn't consider the euros 40 a note worth a reply. That reaction wasn't arrogance so much as strategy. Barcelona believe in Fermin's long-term potential and in managing his development rather than accepting a short-term payday that wouldn't reflect their action if he blossoms. For Fermin, the episode seems to have been less drama and more a mirror of his reality. A player with a place in the squad who, despite limited minutes at times, hasn't pushed to leave. Loyalty, patience, and a club's plan for a young midfielder all factor into why rumours didn't translate into action. That personal dimension is part of what makes the story relatable. Beneath the clickbait figures sit human careers, reputations, and trajectories that clubs protect. On the media side, the transformation from rumour to headline to retraction shows how quickly a narrative can self-amplify. A tentative contact becomes a reported offer, which becomes a near move, which becomes an eye-catching transfer saga, and social feeds eat every iteration. The consequence is that fans, pundits, and even some club insiders find themselves responding to the latest headline rather than the actual paperwork behind it. What the episode exposes about the marketplace is instructive. Clubs increasingly probe with cautious offers, agents and intermediaries test the water, and media amplification converts small signals into tidal waves. For Barcelona, refusing to even engage with a lowball approach signals a more disciplined valuation stance. It's a message to the market that certain players are not for quick sale, even under financial strain. For Chelsea, the contact, lukewarm as it was, suggests a club continuing to balance curiosity with fiscal caution, looking for opportunities but not throwing guaranteed sums at unproven bets. For the wider football conversation, it's a reminder that the loudest numbers are rarely the most reliable. The real story is often found in the private messages that never evolve. So what next? The transfer window may have closed on this chapter, but the plot continues. Fermin's path will be shaped by minutes on the pitch, potential loan moves, and Barcelona's willingness to let him grow into a bigger price tag. Chelsea will move on too, their scouts cataloguing what they saw and deciding whether to circle back in a future window with a more serious approach. And the media machine will, of course, be waiting to turn the next whisper into a headline. For viewers, the lesson is simple. Follow the facts, not the frenzy. When euros 58m becomes euros 40m in a single afternoon, You're looking at the difference between story and substance, and that's the kind of transfer tale that reveals more about how modern football really works than a single sensational headline ever could.